Hey guys, Fish Strong here. I'm talking with JT Kenney, and you know, for those who know anything about him and follow him, he's really like the quintessential fisherman. I mean, he's saltwater, freshwater. He's on the lakes, he's flipping, he's deep cranking. I mean, he finishes top 10, win these tournaments. Like, you never know what he's going to do. He's catching his own snook sushi and wahoo and cobia, and he's all over the place. So one question I have for you, because you're really a well-rounded fisherman, I don't think a lot of people totally get that. Is there anything from the saltwater world that you've been able to apply to the freshwater world, or something that you've learned from the saltwater that has made you a better bass angler? What can you say to that?
Honestly, is people don't use big enough baits. I mean, really, I've learned in the saltwater, I've caught some pretty small fish on some pretty big baits and some big fish on some big baits. But I don't think we use big, as bass anglers in general, I don't think we use big enough baits, because a lot of times you catch fish and there'll be a great big tail or something sticking out of its gullet. And, that's what big fish are eating, big stuff. And, I've just really started throwing a lot bigger baits. Instead of throwing a 10-inch worm, I might throw a 16-inch worm. Instead of throwing a 5-inch swim bait, I'm throwing a 7-inch swim bait, or even like this year on, the Alabama rig has got kind of big, and I started throwing 6-inch swim baits on an Alabama rig, and actually 7-inch ones is pretty hard to cast, but and it's really catching a lot of fish and cashing a lot of checks. So I think that's the biggest thing that I learned from saltwater fish and took it into freshwater, and it's certainly working. We don't use big enough stuff.
Thanks.